Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Colin Abrams with the HGP Sportscast. We start with cricket. New Zealand takes the first T20 as the Windies batsmen fail again. Stanford Howard reports.
The World T20 champions elected to field and send the Black Caps in to set a target. Martin Guptill was the first back into the pavilion after being trapped LBW by Taylor in the second over. Opener Colin Munro, 53, and Glenn Phillips, 55, laid the foundation for the Black Caps. In the 12th over, Munro was the next scalp for the Windies, leaving the Kiwis at 91 for 2. The middle order didn't add much to the score, but the Black Caps made 187 for 7 of their allotted 20 overs. Jerome Taylor and Carlos Brathwaite both took 2 wickets apiece. The Windies started wobbly, losing the openers in the third over for just 19 runs. Andre Fletcher's flashy cameo yielded 27 runs from 25 balls. Skipper Carlos Brathwaite 21 and Nurse 20 were the only decent double-figure scores for the Windies. As the middle order continues to fail with the bat, they were all out for 140 runs in 19 overs. The next T20 match is January 1st. Reporting for the HGP Sportscast, I'm Stanford Howard.
Thank you, Stanford. A video has reportedly surfaced showing England's ace pacer, James, digging his thumbnail into a ball during Australia's second innings.
Australian television broadcasts showed that James Anderson digged his thumbnail into the ball during the Australian second innings of the current 4th Test. Australia, 3-0 up in the 5-test series, reached 101 for 2, trailing England by 63 runs, before rain ended play early on day 4. On a placid MCG pitch offering the bowlers little assistance, England were looking to make the ball reverse swing. That often involved fielders throwing it into the ground, so one side became scuffled up. Local television showed close-up pictures of Anderson, England's leading wicket-taker of all time, working on the quarter seam. Footage was inconclusive, suggesting that Anderson could have been cleaning it, smoothing it, or removing something that had come loose. According to the rules, a fielder may, quote, polish the ball on his or her clothing, providing that no artificial substance is used and that such polishing wastes no time. Remove mud from the ball under the supervision of an umpire. Dry a wet ball on a piece of cloth that has been approved by the umpires. If the action is taken by the fielder does not fit any of these, the umpire shall consider the condition of the ball unfairly changed. At that point, the umpires would ask the captain of the opposing side if they would like the ball to be replaced. Javon Vickery, HGP Sport.
The Linden Amateur Basketball Association will host on Saturday its end-of-year Night with Stars Basketball Meets Fashion and Awards presentation at the Mackenzie Sports Club Hard Court. The first game will see Wismar versus Mackenzie, and second game, a rematch of Linden versus Georgetown. There will also be a display of fashion and many awards, including Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year. And finally, the International Olympic Committee has been accused of cowardice for failing to help a former Russian anti-doping official turned whistleblower.
2 people connected with the Russian doping program are already dead under circumstances that seem highly suspect. One of the first things that I learned from authorities when I came onto the case was that the Russian government has the resources and the will. So we've had to develop a very multi-stage protocol to minimize the chances that our conversations will be intercepted.
Gregory Rodchenkov, whose revelation of state-sponsored cheating led to the country's ban from the 2018 Winter Olympics, fled to the U.S. 2 years ago and remains in hiding, but his lawyer has now accused Russia of stepping up to its retaliation by secretly lobbying for his extradition. Walden said the IOC had refused to budge to help him, and the threats to his client's safety may force him to stop providing further evidence to the IOC authorities. The IOC denies Walden's claims that it had refused to help, stressing it had sought special protection for Rodchenkov as a whistleblower. They, however, pointed out it is not in its powers to protect witnesses. Rodchenkov's shocking revelations triggered investigation by both the World Anti-Doping Agency and the IOC. Earlier this month, the IOC confirmed the systematic manipulation of the anti-doping rules and system. Russia has repeatedly denied running a state-sponsored doping program, but was told its athletes could only compete under a neutral flag in Pyeongchang at the Winter Olympics. Russia's investigative committee has said it will ask the U.S. to extradite Rodchenkov, the former head of Moscow's anti-doping laboratory. President Vladimir Putin has also suggested the whistleblower may have been drugged by the FBI to coax a confession, something Walden described as comical. And that has brought us to the end of this edition of the HGP Sportscast. On behalf of the sports team, do have a prosperous 2018. Goodbye.